Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy, Simeon Russell from Nothing But Knicks. Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr., Knicks, Mavs. Tonight, let's talk about it. Don't forget, Knicks family, January 21st, 2019, the Martin Luther King Day matinee, Knicks vs. Thunder. Private lounge on Chase Bridge. Food and non-alcoholic beverage included. Courtside at the pregame shoot-around and a mini tour. Cost $205. $220 with a Nothing But Knicks t-shirt. At the top of your screen, see the link that just came across? I want to see you there. Let's go. Knicks family, what's poppin'? This is a bit of an unconventional stream, although it is live. I'm actually at basketball practice right now. So this is a premiere, and it allows you to watch this pre-recorded video live, and you can still talk in the chat, argue, beef, fight, agree, whatever you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? And continue to talk in the chat as the game begins. I will be back at halftime, and of course I'll do the post-game live. But I'm recording this live. I'm gonna do it in one take Hove. You know what I'm saying? Like my man Hove, one take. Right? But again, this is pre-recorded, but it's live. It's streaming live for you right now. I'm at basketball practice. I'll be home for the game though. But let's talk about the Knicks and the Mavs. These are two teams that are kind of similar right now. You know, two big name, sort of big name, second-year rookies in Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr. Then you got big names that came in as rookies this year. You got Luka, you got Knox. Knox, of course, is injured right now. Hopefully he'll be back Monday. Back with the team Monday. And then with the Knicks, you got a rising star in Kristaps Porzingis. Dallas has an aging star in Dirk Nowitzki. Then you got your other pieces around. You got Tim Hardaway Jr. for the Knicks, who the last few games has been trying to prove that he can actually be the man for this team right now, at least until KP gets back. And the Mavs got guys like Wesley Matthews, DeAndre Jordan, that are trying to prove that they're pieces to the puzzle. You know, two teams that are on a similar track right now. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. Of course, you know, we want to see that matchup, Frank Ntilikina versus Dennis Smith Jr. That's going to be the big matchup tonight. You know, so many people thought that the Knicks should have drafted Dennis Smith Jr., including LeBron James. Close it, LeBron. But including LeBron James, you know, who said last year the Knicks should have took Dennis Smith Jr. or Dennis Smith Jr. should have been a Knick. That's why you're seeing Frank Ntilikina stand up to LeBron. But I love Frank Ntilikina. You know, that's my guy. You guys know that. All right, but that's the big matchup for tonight. Of course, you got, you know, rookie Kevin Knox won't be playing, but Luka is playing for the Dallas Mavericks. He's averaging 19 points per game so far this season, shooting well from the field. He looks like he's everything that he was hyped up to be. Looks like he is. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know too much about him. I didn't do too much research because I didn't expect the Knicks to be able to pick that high. And of course they didn't. You know, but he seems to be impressive so far this season. You know, big shout out to Luka for that. All right, but it's going to be, you know, right now, you know, there are two teams that are battling for respect in the league. You know, trying to catapult themselves off of the backs of some young studs. And that's okay. That's good. That's cool. You know, the Knicks are coming off of a tight loss to the Indiana Pacers. A game that they very well could have won with some better fourth quarter execution. And that's going to be the story of the season for the New York Knicks. Fourth quarter execution. we're going to see a lot of games where, we miss a quarter. We lost that fourth quarter 30-20 to the Pacers. It's going to happen that way. That's okay. That's okay because we're developing. We're a young team that is developing. We're learning. Although I do agree with something that Tim Hardaway said. He said, how long are we going to blame it on the youth? We can't continue to blame it on the youth. At some point, we've got to execute and come away with these wins. And I do agree with them. But I do understand the state of the organization right now. Even Tim Hardaway Jr. is new to his role. He's never been the lead guy. He's the lead guy right now. We can argue whether or not he is made up to be the lead guy. We can argue that all day long. And you guys know my arguments for it. Although he's trying his hardest to change it. And I'm listening. I'm looking, Tim. I'm looking. But we can argue that all day long. But he's the guy right now for this team as currently constructed without Kristaps Porzingis. So he's new to that role. You got Frank Ntilikina, a second-year guy in the starting lineup. Finally, actually commanding that point guard position for the time being. He's new to that role for this team. You got Damian Dotson in the starting lineup. Another sophomore. So that's a young squad, a young team. And of course you got rookie Kevin Knox, another young guy. Rookie Alonzo Trier. These guys are young. They don't know how to do it yet. They don't know how to win yet. And even though, like I said before, Timmy's been in the league for a while, he doesn't know how to do it either because he's new to his role. Coach Fizdale, while he was the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies, and we all know what happened there with Marc Gasol and that whole fiasco, he's never been on this stage before as the head coach. So he's new to that as well. So there's a lot of fresh newness going on with the New York Knicks. And it's going to take time to put it together, to build that chemistry, to build that consistency or grow that consistency or become consistent. I can wait it out. Hopefully you can. It doesn't mean we don't have the right to criticize. We pay our hard-earned money. We give our emotion. We give our time. We have the right to criticize and say our piece. But we all should understand that, we're a work in progress. And we're going to be for the remainder of the year, most likely. Most likely. But let's get on with the getting on and talk about these two teams. All right, talk about these two teams. Starting lineups. And the starting lineups could be, they could be interesting, I think. And again, let me just remind you that I'm currently at basketball practice. This is a pre-recorded live stream. I'm doing it one take, no edits. Just as if I was doing a live stream with you on the line. So go ahead and talk in the chat, talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you stay on. When this stream is over, stay on. Stay in the chat and talk. All right? Stay in the chat and talk. Talk throughout the game. I'll be there in a minute. You know what I mean? Let's talk about these starting lineups. Right? Frank Ntilikina, as we know, is starting for the New York Knicks at the point guard position. Tim Hardaway Jr. at the shooting guard position. Damian Dotson at the 3. Noah Vonleh at the 4. Mitchell Robinson at the 5. And who are they going against? Dallas Mavericks. Dennis Smith Jr. at the 1. Wesley Matthews at the 2. Harrison Barnes at the 3. Luka at the 4. DeAndre Jordan at the 5. Some interesting matchups in this game. I think there's some interesting matchups in this game. Obviously, we know the big one, Frank Ntilikina versus Dennis Smith Jr. Tim Hardaway and Wesley Matthews, that should be an interesting matchup. Damian Dotson and Harrison Barnes. Damian Johnson is strong. He's a good defender. He's an athlete. Harrison Barnes is going to have some height on him. We'll see if that matchup comes into play. Noah Vonleh, he's going to have his work cut out for him with Luka. Luka obviously can score the ball. Noah Vonleh's, probably a better rebounder. He should be a decent enough defender to guard Luka, but that's going to be an interesting matchup. And then Mitchell Robinson and DeAndre Jordan. This here could be a problem for us. We'll see how long Mitchell Robinson is in the game on DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan is going to be able to just kind of horse Mitchell Robinson over. You know what I mean? DeAndre Jordan will be able to power him down in the post. It's not going to take him out on the perimeter much, but he'll be able to power him down in the post. Can Mitchell Robinson guard him in the screen and roll? That's going to be an interesting dynamic. I would not be surprised if we see Kanter starting over Mitchell Robinson for this game versus DeAndre Jordan, because Kanter knows DeAndre Jordan. He's played against DeAndre Jordan for years. He's got the girth. Definitely not the athleticism. And we'd have to worry about Kanter in that screen and roll. But he's got the girth to deal with DeAndre Jordan down low. When DeAndre Jordan isn't a perimeter guy, he's going to play in that screen and roll play, and he's going to play down low. You know what I mean? So I'll be interested to see. Of course, these are projected lineups, projected starting lineups. It'll be interesting to see if Kanter starts over Mitchell Robinson for this game. And if he doesn't, that's okay. That's cool. I actually expect Mitchell Robinson to start. I'm just saying, don't be surprised if you see Kanter there. And Mitchell Robinson can learn some things from DeAndre Jordan. Mitchell Robinson could very well be looking at his future when he's looking at DeAndre Jordan, right? DeAndre Jordan came to the league offensively challenged, had to learn the game, had a coach that believed in him, in Doc Rivers. Mitchell Robinson is in a similar situation. Very similar. All right, so that's a guy that, I would tell Mitchell Robinson, if you get a chance after the game, talk to DeAndre Jordan. Talk to him a little bit. Learn about him if you haven't already. Right? Learn about his game. Learn about his history. Learn about his background. Find out what it took for him to become DeAndre Jordan. But that's going to be a tough one, I believe, for Mitchell Robinson. But those are the matchups, ladies and gentlemen. Frank Ntilikina versus Dennis Smith Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. versus Wesley Matthews. Damian Johnson versus Harrison Barnes. Noah Vonleh versus Luka Doncic. I can never say his name right. Luka. Mitchell Robinson versus DeAndre Jordan. And of course, you're going to see guys play defense on other guys and so on and so forth. But as far as positions, those are the positional matchups. Right? Let's get into some team comparison. Let's compare these two teams. As I said before, these two teams are, I don't want to say that they're even, they're pretty much evenly matched, but they're in the same boat. All right, these guys are in the same boat. They are two teams that, as I said, they're young, they're learning to become who they're going to become. Right? And they're trying to do it, properly through the, with the youth movement. They're doing it with the youth movement. Okay. So let's take a look. Team comparison. Both teams are 2-6. Points per game. The Knicks average 106. Dallas Mavericks 111.4 points per game. Edge Dallas Mavericks. Field goal percentage. The Knicks shoot 43.1% from the field, which I'm continuously harping on them to increase that field goal percentage. Dallas Mavericks 44.8. I mean that's basically I guess you can say a slight edge Dallas. Slight edge to the Dallas Mavericks. 3-point field goal percentage, the Knicks, 36.2. Dallas Mavericks, 33.7. Of course, that's a slight edge to the Knicks. And now here we are with the assists. 19.5 for the Knicks. That's good for last in the league. 24 for Dallas. We continue to harp on it. I continue to harp on it. But it makes sense. The Knicks shoot 43.1% from the field. They only average 19.5 assists per game. Even if we're making the right passes, if we're not knocking down those shots, we're not going to get the assists. We've got to become more efficient on that side of the ball, making shots. Last in the league, 19.5 assists per game. Turnovers, the Knicks, 14 per game. Dallas Mavericks, 16.5 turnovers per game. Slight edge to the Knicks. Defensive rating, the Knicks are at a 109.8 defensive rating. That the Dallas Mavericks, 111.6. Edge Knicks, rebounds per game. They're both at 43. Kind of even it off. Steals per game, 7.3 for the Knicks, 7 for the Dallas Mavericks. You know, that's basically even. And then blocks, the Knicks are not a good shot blocking team. 2.9 blocks per game. The Dallas Mavericks, 5.1 blocks per game. So these teams are, you know, statistically speaking, pretty much even. Dallas has an edge offensively as far as the amount of points that they score. And the Knicks have a slight edge defensively, which tells me that this could be a close game. Right? One of those games, another game that goes down the stretch. We'll see what happens there. And, you know, of course, that leads to, we're not going to talk about the keys to success yet. We're going to talk about a key matchup, of course, Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr. But we will come back and talk about these team comparisons when we talk about the keys to success, because, you know, they kind of work hand in hand. They kind of work together. All right. But let's talk about the key matchup of the night. You know who it is. I know who it is. Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr. Key matchups for the night. Let's talk about these guys a little bit. Right? Frank Ntilikina, drafted by the New York Knicks in 2017. Came in with a lot of expectations, right? A lot of expectations. You know, people expected Frank Ntilikina to come in. Fans did expect the Frank Ntilikina to come in and be a star right away. Some did. I think some people understood that he was going to be a project, and, you know, he needed some work on, the offensive end, and he needed to be developed. The New York Knicks 8th pick. And there was always an argument as to whether or not the Knicks should have drafted Frank Ntilikina or Dennis Smith Jr. I was always happy with the Frank pick. Always happy with the Frank pick. I wanted the Knicks to draft Frank Ntilikina, right? Because I like the length of his arms. And it leads to his ability to play defense. And I felt he was a hard worker and a guy that would grow offensively. Now, Dennis Smith Jr., I wouldn't have been mad. I wouldn't have been mad if we would have drafted Dennis Smith Jr. I wasn't too excited about Dennis Smith Jr. because I felt like we've had that style of guard in the past, and, you know, we needed something different. But the argument remains to today, and it'll probably remain throughout both of their careers. Who was the better player? Who should have been on the Knicks? Who should have been on the Mavericks? And all this stuff. You know, the argument will last throughout their career. It makes it fun for us Knicks fans and Mavericks fans. But truth be told, the two guys are friends. So I'm sure they put all that stuff to the side. They come on the court and, they battle it out, and then they go back and shake hands and they're cool with each other. So it makes it fun. It's just as long as no one is wishing any ill will on either one of the players, we can have fun with it. Right. So I wish no ill will on Dennis Smith Jr. I hope that Mavs fans do not wish any ill will on Frank Ntilikina. And as long as that's the case, we can go ahead and have fun with the matchup. Let's take a look at the matchups. Frank Ntilikina is averaging 9 points per game. Hey, listen. Last year he averaged that. He's doubled it up, almost doubled it up. We've seen the last the two games before the Pacers game where he scored 17 points and then 16 points against the Pacers. I kind of expected that he wasn't going to really score as much because it's an aggressive defense. Guys, Darren Collison is small, can get up underneath Frank. So I didn't expect Frank to really score that much. I was okay with it, though, as long as he was running the offense and running the team. And I thought Frank did a decent job. Right? Even though, he didn't score. But see, this is the thing. He did get some open looks that he's got to knock down. Playing against an aggressive defense to do that to you, he'll learn it and he'll get it. 9 points per game for Frank Ntilikina, 2.3 rebounds, 3.6 assists per game. Shooting 38.2% from the field. We need him to get that up. He's shooting 38.7% from three. Down from the 41% when he came into the Indiana game shooting 41% from three. He missed a couple of threes. He's down to 38.7%, but that's still good. I think he was 31% last year. Okay. Dennis Smith Jr., 16 points per game, 2.3 rebounds per game, 4.3 assists per game. He shoots 43.1% from the field, 31% from three. He is an explosive type of guy. You get a guy to lane to the basket, he might put his nuts on somebody's neck. That might happen. This is a good matchup for Frank, in my opinion. Good matchup. This is Dennis Smith Jr., as we know, he's not the greatest defender. Right. And he's a young guy. He has room to grow in that area. He could very well become a good defender one day, but he's not right now. OK, Frank Ntilikina should be able to get to the rack, get to his spots, his comfortable spots, and knock down some shots. All right. It's going to be on Frank to knock down those shots, though. All right. Defensively, Frank's going to have a challenge ahead of him versus a guy like Dennis Smith Jr., who is crafty. He's got a quick first step. He can get to the cup. Of course, I want Frank to shut him down. Take him out. But it's going to be challenging. It's not going to be easy. The one thing that will help Frank out is that Dennis Smith Jr., and I can only go on, I haven't seen him play this year. I can only go on what I've seen in the past. He does like to get the ball and go one-on-one a little bit, which can help Frank out. If he's not moving off screens, cutting to the basket, and he's going to dribble, and go one-on-one, that's going to help Frank out defensively, right? I mean, we've seen Frank give up guys, blow past him, not blow past him, but go past him, get to the cup. It's going to happen. But for the most part, Frank is going to be able to stay in front of you. So if he's going to stand there and dribble, that's going to be a benefit to Frank. Right. This should be an intriguing matchup. The first time that they're matching up with Frank Ntilikina actually starting at the point guard position. Both guys are starting at that point guard position. Right. So now we can truly see the matchup. Frank is going to get 30 minutes a game. Dennis Smith Jr. is going to get 30 minutes a game. When they matched up last year, Frank's minutes were up and down. He wasn't really playing at that point guard position. Now we're actually getting a true matchup of Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr. A true matchup. Both guys starting at the point guard spot. Both guys are going to get 30 minutes a game. They're going to see each other a ton. Now, Frank Ntilikina may get moved around from spot to spot, but they're going to see each other a ton. It's going to be fun and entertaining. You can, well, it's kind of too late for this game, but for the next game, get your Nilmatic t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? So you can root on our boy, Frank Ntilikina. And by the way, just remember, I'm at basketball practice right now. This is a live stream, but it's pre-recorded. So if you're trying to call in, you're not going to get through. You're trying to get to appear in, it's not going to get through. All right? But if you like what you're seeing so far, throw me a sub, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up, and ring that notification bell. Get a notification anytime that I am live or I upload a video. And I'm doing this in one take, ladies and gentlemen, no edits. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about the keys to success, because I know the game is about 4 or 5 minutes away. All right, I want to make sure that you can catch the game. All right, so let's talk about these keys to success. And, once we get through these keys to success, man, I'm going to let you guys go. I'll give my prediction of the game. I want to hear your prediction in the chat. All right, make sure you're chatting. Keys to success. Of course, we've got to have a strong start. Always got to have a strong start to the game. Okay. If you're not having a strong start, then that's going to be a problem. Okay. Keep their 3-point attempts. This is similar to what we did versus the Indiana Pacers. We had very similar keys to success. As a matter of fact, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is a live thing. So I made a mistake and I didn't put up my new keys to success. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up these new keys to success right now, and you'll be able to see them. There we go. I apologize for that. And you know what? I was about to flow through it like there was nothing there. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not trying to cheat nobody. I was going to flow through it and act like, I just, everything was similar. I ain't going to cheat you, my friends. All right. So, but strong start. That's the same. Keys to success. Strong start. We want to have a strong start to every game. You have a strong start, then you don't have to worry about battling back into the game. You want to have a strong start. Let's get out in transition. I want to get out in transition. This is a team, they give up 111 points per game. If we get out in transition, we should be able to score. We should be able to score with them. Right now, we average 106 points per game. I think we can and should be better than that. But surprisingly, as fast as Fizdale and everyone has said we want to play, we're in the lower echelon in the league in pace per game. I think we're somewhere around 24, 25 in pace per game. So let's get out in transition. That means we got to rebound the basketball, get the ball out, and let's go up the floor. This is a team that if we get out in transition, we'll be able to score against them. So let's get out in transition. Let's play efficient basketball. All right. You've seen it. We shoot 43.1% from the field. Almost every team that we play, if we're shooting 43.1% from the field, we're going to be, we're going to have a hard time winning the game. Right? If we want to keep other teams from getting out in transition, if we want to keep other teams from getting extra possessions and scoring 109 points per game on us, then we need to shoot more efficiently. The more efficiently we shoot, the less rebounds there are to go around for the other team. We can get back on defense and play half-court defense instead of worrying about playing defense in transition. Defense. Let's get to defense. We need to play defense. Our defensive rating right now is 109. Let's go back to that team comparison real quick. 109.8. That's our defensive rating. Right? We can do much better than that, I believe. Now, of course, that plays into our offensive play. If we play more efficient, we can get back on defense a little bit better. And we can set our defense up instead of, trying to cover guys in transition. But also, we got to do a better job on the defensive glass. Right? We can't give up offensive rebounds. It demoralizes your team when you give up offensive rebounds. I mean, if you play great defense for 20 seconds, you force the team to miss a shot. And then they get the offensive rebound and score again. Even though you played great defense, they shot 50% from the field. Okay? Again, we average 43 rebounds per game. That's really not that great. It's okay. I thought we were going to be a better rebounding team than this. But you end your defense with a rebound. So we got to play defense and then end it with a rebound. And this is a team, they score 111 points per game, which isn't your top, somewhere in the middle of the league in scoring. But we don't want them to get hot. Let's not let them get hot. Luka, Dennis Smith Jr., young guys, they can get hot. Fourth quarter execution, ladies and gentlemen. We've been seeing it all season long now. The Mavericks probably have the same issues. Fourth quarter execution. Neither one of these teams have that leader on the floor that can just show you how to do it, because Dirk's out, I believe. And I could be wrong. But I believe Dirk is out. But we need that fourth quarter execution. And it says fourth quarter half execution. Fourth quarter execution, ladies and gentlemen. We need that fourth quarter execution. All right, we've been seeing it all season long. Poor fourth quarter execution has led to us losing games that we otherwise could have won. Otherwise, we would have won them. All right. So those are the keys to success. One more time, really quickly. We want to have a strong start, get out in transition, play efficient basketball on the offensive side of the floor, play defense, and then have fourth quarter execution. And if we do those things, we give ourselves a chance to win. My prediction is that we have another close game and we find a way to pull this one out. We find a way to pull it out. That's my prediction for the night. I'm giving Frank Ntilikina 15 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. And I think Tim Hardaway is going to have another good game tonight. Those are my predictions. What are your predictions? Put it in the chat. Leave it in the comments. Join me at halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Then hit me on the post game. I'll catch y'all. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you sub the channel.